Now, a service was held in Wiltshire today to remember two airmen who were the first British airborne casualties of World War I. Wreaths were laid at Netheravon Airfield to honour the men from the Royal Flying Corps. Our reporter Michelle Rominsky was at the service.
You join us at Bulford Cemetery, and we're standing by the graveside here of Air Mechanic Raymond Barlow. And it was 100 years ago today that he was on a plane that crash landed just after takeoff from Netheravon Airfield, which is just a few miles down the road. And he was one of the very first people to die in a plane heading for France to take part in the First World War effort. And today there was a big service there, and taking part in that service was Lieutenant Colonel Richard Miller. Can you tell us a little bit about this man and also the other person he was travelling with?
Certainly, yes. Raymond Keith Barlow actually came from Grantham, and he was a very recently qualified air mechanic in the Royal Flying Corps. His pilot, Lieutenant Robin Skene, was a reasonably experienced pilot. They were in fact the last aircraft to leave, and sadly crashed on takeoff, killing both the pilot and Keith Barlow.
Tell us about the service today. There was a very moving moment when a wreath was delivered.
Yes, indeed. We had the Army Parachute Association, who now fly out of Netheravon Airfield. One of their parachutists delivered the wreath from the Western Front Association down onto the ground, and then the wreath was laid in front of the officers' mess, which still has the wings of the Royal Flying Corps above the doors, by a former Army pilot.
Lieutenant Colonel Richard Miller, thank you very much for your time today. And if you would like to see our coverage of the commemorative events that have been happening in the West today, please join us on Points West tonight at 6:30.